Good morning. Today I wanted to just do a short little conversation on something that's going to affect all of us that celebrate Christmas. This year I think Christmas is going to have to be a little bit different for a lot of families. There's a lot of people that are still out of work. There's people that are in very bad financial situations now due to not having been able to work for the last 18-20 months. There's people that still haven't been able to find jobs. So we all know there's also people that are currently losing their jobs for various reasons, which I won't get into here. So I wanted to kind of give some ideas of things you might want to try this Christmas to make it a little bit more affordable and to focus on the things that really matter. If anything we've learned over the last 20 months is that the most important thing is that we get to spend time with our family and our friends, and that the other things really, in the long haul, they really don't matter. And when you don't get to see your family, you don't get to see your friends, you realize how important they really are to you. So I did a list up, and I really hope it'll help somebody. If you have any ideas you'd like to add to it, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear other ideas, but these are just some that I came up with, and some of them I'm incorporating this year also. All right, so how to do Christmas during a time of shortages and high inflation. First of all, let your children know this year may be a little different than other years. You don't want to spring it on them and have everything very different and maybe less materialistic without telling them and telling them why. That this year is going to be a little bit different because not everything is available and maybe mom or dad haven't been able to work. So it's important that you share that. And kids need to learn that things aren't always perfect and they'll adjust. They love you. You love them. They'll adjust. So I would say let your family know, not just your children, but perhaps your adult children, that you're going to be a little less materialistic this year because of finances or shortages or whatever. And agree to a much simpler Christmas among your family members. I know we have this conversation with our children, our adult children. And we basically just said that we're going to have a lot simpler Christmas this year. And everybody was in full agreement. Everybody understands what's going on. If you're buying gifts, put a dollar limit on the gifts. Don't put that pressure on yourself that you have to buy something expensive or fancy, or take that pressure off yourself. If you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't get yourself in heaps of debt in order to appease that feeling like you have to give a big gift. Give what you can. And if you can only give a small gift, give a small gift. Don't burden yourself with debt. It's a very bad time for any of us to be going into debt with the financial situation the way it is. How about trying to make some gifts this year? I know I'm doing that. I've made candles already for some people. I'm learning. I may even do a video about it. I'm going to learn how to make soap. I've always wanted to, and I have the time now, so I'm going to do that this year. So heads up, people, some of you are getting soap this year for Christmas. But try something different. Make crafts. Repurpose something that someone would like. Something they would like, not just something junky that, you want to just give them something that, to say you made something that you think they would really like. And there's all kinds of other things that you can do. There's kits of different types to make gifts for people that crochet, that knit. Use your talents, use your gifts. And if you don't have anything like that, then just go simple this year. Do what you can. Also, buy gifts or materials that you think you might use to make any of those gifts now, if you can afford it. We're being warned all the time that there's going to be more and more and more shortages as time goes on. So get your stuff now that you can afford. Don't go into debt, but buy what you can right now while things are still available in the stores, because pretty soon we're going to have a hard time getting a lot more things. So if you can do it, put away a little bit of money now and start buying now. We're already in November, so this is a good time to start. Okay. Oh, and buy some of the food things that you're going to use for your Christmas dinner. If you usually maybe have two different meats for Christmas. You have a ham and a turkey, and you can't afford to do that this year. Maybe just do a turkey or do a ham. Do what you can afford. Don't put pressure on yourself to have the same type of meal you've had every Christmas. It is nice to have traditions, but you can have so many other traditions. If you can't afford to buy two meats this year, don't. Buy what you can afford. Don't pressure yourself to do what you can't afford. And certainly don't go in debt for it. So, buy those things now. They're saying that there's going to be a shortage of turkeys. I guess we're going to have to wait to see if that's true. I know the last couple years it's been more challenging to find turkeys here in our area of Ontario. So if I were you, if you can afford a turkey, you see them on sale, buy it as soon as you can if you have room in your freezer and put it away so it's not a big burden closer to Christmas. Okay, ask family members that are joining you or friends. Some people open their home up to friends for Christmas. But if you have family members or friends joining you, ask them to bring a dish this year. It's really not a huge issue for anybody, a huge financial burden for them to bring one dish. And it also makes it nicer. You get a collection of different dishes. Some people like to bring their favorite dish that they like to make or that they're really good at. So include other people in that. A suggestion for gifts. There's a lot of people that don't cook. They don't make their own food. They eat out all the time. So for a gift for somebody, why not give them a coupon that would perhaps be like a meal and a dessert, or if you wanted to give a coupon that would include one full day of meals. So you could make a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner for someone that you wanted to give a big gift to, and give them a coupon and say when you want this, because they may have something that's coming up where they're going to be busy or it would just really help them out. Give them a coupon in a card and they get to call you and say, okay, I would love to call in this coupon on such and such a date. It's a great idea for somebody that, it would really bless at a time where they may be going through some difficulty or busy with doctor appointments or whatever. So that's something you can do and agree on the type of meal you're going to make. It doesn't have to be escargot, just a simple meal and perhaps a dessert, or if you're going to do 3 meals, you could agree on what you're going to do for their breakfast, for their lunch, and their dinner, and you deliver that to them. And that's an amazing gift. If you can do something like that, instead of going out and buying them something that perhaps they really don't need, I think that's a really good idea. All right. Another suggestion I have is, God blesses us when we give of ourselves or our time or our finances to others that are in need that can't bless us back. So why not this year choose to, as a family or as a couple, if you don't have children, choose to bless someone that can't bless you back. Someone that is in need, that, maybe you could make them a meal. Maybe you could take them a Christmas meal, deliver it to their home, invite them to your home for Christmas. Perhaps you could put a stocking together with little gifts for them, practical gifts of things that they could use. But take the time to include someone else outside your circle, someone that can't bless you back, that you would just really like to give to and help. And I think Christmas is such a great time to do that. I mean, all year is a good time to do that. But if you make a point of it at Christmas, and you can even include your children in that, make it like a big family thing that we're going to do this. You may not have a lot this Christmas, so maybe it would just mean putting together a dish of food, your Christmas meal, putting it together and delivering it to somebody that could really use that. Or like I said, having them in your home. There's ways of blessing people that don't have to cost a lot of money. And Christmas is such a beautiful time to be able to do that. All right, and one of the other suggestions I was going to suggest to you is that if you dehydrate, if you put food away, why not do a basket up as a gift for someone? Or perhaps for each of your family members. A little basket of different things that you've canned or dehydrated, you know, so maybe some jerky, maybe some canned vegetables from your garden, some dried herbs, put in a nice little jar with, you know, maybe a ribbon around it, or a selection of herbs even in small little jars you can get at the dollar store, and put some various dried herbs in each one, label them and put bows on them, and use things that you have and things that will bless people, because if the shortages do continue as they're warning, all those things will be such a nice treat to have, all those little extras like seasonings, which they're not cheap. And if you can bless somebody with things like that, that's one way to keep your cost down for a gift, and also bless them with something that they'll be able to use. Of course, don't give that to somebody that doesn't cook, but to somebody that does cook and you know they like to cook, and why not give them some dried herbs from your garden that you just fancy them up in a nice little jar. Doesn't have to cost much at all, and it can really be a blessing for them. So I hope some of these ideas have kind of stirred up things in your head for ways that you can plan for your Christmas this year and make it simpler, less expensive, and so that you don't have to go in debt. And, you know, scale it down to what you can afford. And if you can't afford much, just have a nice meal. Have a nice meal together. There's no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame in that. These are not days for us to be going into debt for Christmas or any other holiday for that matter. So I hope some of this encourages you. I hope some of it's got your juices flowing for ideas of what you can do this year. And I pray that this year we will all remember to keep Christ in Christmas, number one. So have a great day, and I really hope that if any of you have other ideas that you think you're going to try this year, or you think might be good ideas for people to try, please put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Thanks, and have a great day.